Alright, trickers and trickers, time to look at Homeward. The Enterprise receives an emergency distress call from Rosenko, currently posted to Boral 2, a class-in planet in the process of suffering an atmospheric catastrophe. The Federation observation post is found to be deserted. A force field shielding has been set up nearby which protects a series of caverns. Enterprise Captain Jean-Luc Picard decides to send an away team to investigate. Concerned for his brother, Worf volunteers, and Picard orders him to go alone and be surgically altered to pass as a Boralan. Worf transports to the planet and discovers that his brother set up the shield to protect the local villagers. Rosenko meets with the ship's senior officers and describes his plan to save one village of the doomed planet by setting up a concealed artificial biosphere. Picard replies that the Federation Prime Directive prohibits interference with the natural development of the Boralan civilization. It is not for them to decide that one group will survive while the rest of the planet perishes. After witnessing the atmospheric dissipation and extinction event transpire, the crew is puzzled by an unexpected power drain, the origin of which Worf tracks to the holodeck. His brother has transported the population of the Boralan village aboard the ship, using the holodeck to replicate caverns identical to those on the planet, misleading the villagers into thinking they are still on Boral 2. Rosenko tells Worf that he believes offering the Boralan culture a chance of survival is more important than following the Prime Directive. He champions his updated plan of transporting the B'Elarans to a new home on a different planet. Picard reluctantly authorizes the plan and orders Chief Medical Officer Dr. Beverly Crusher and Operations Officer Lieutenant Commander Data to find a new home planet for the Boralans. Crusher and Data choose Vakov 6 as the new Boralan homeworld, but it is almost 2 days away at maximum warp. Ship's Chief Engineer Lieutenant Commander Joy LaForge tells Picard and Rosenko that the holodeck program may not run that long. Rosenko volunteers to return to the Boralans and help account for any anomalies in the program. The mistrustful Picard orders Worf to accompany him. Returning to the holodeck, Nikolai and Worf tell the Boralans that they will lead them to a new home. As they travel, Worf and Rosenko nearly come to blows when Worf learns that his brother has impregnated one of the villagers. Nikolai tells Worf that he intends to remain with the Boralans. Yeah, boy. Vorin, the village chronicler, finds his way out of the holodeck and suffers severe cultural shock at the reality of the world outside. Enterprise counselor Deanna Troi and Picard try to help him adjust, offering him the choice of returning to his people or staying on the ship. Ultimately, Vorin can't live with what he has discovered and commits ritual suicide. Yeah, jeez. The Enterprise arrives at the new Boralan home, and the Boralans are beamed down to the eventual site of their new village. Worf and Nikolai make peace when Worf accepts that the Boralan race would not have survived, if not for his brother's unconventional methods. Nikolai assuages Worf by telling him that he's going to stay with the villagers and become the new village chronicler. Aboard the Enterprise, Picard muses with Crusher that while their plan for the Boralans worked out well, he is disappointed that Vorin wasn't able to bridge the gap between their two cultures. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer too. I would agree with that. Anyway, let's look at some notes about this episode. Penny Johnson and Michael Dorn would reunite on Star Trek Deep Space Nine and Castle. Oh, that's kind of interesting. So overall, I say this is a pretty interesting episode, and seeing Worf's adopted brother for the first time was actually kind of cool, I guess. So overall, I give Homeward 3 warp cores out of 5. Well, join me soon for the not-so-greatest episode of TNG, at least in Season 7, with Sub Rosa. So, until then, live long and prosper, everybody.